It's Law Nation. Let's go. Be sure on your way in to hit that like, share this content. Let a friend or neighbor know where to go when they want to tune in to Cowboys Sports Talk and beyond. Let's go. We're going to go over the best things for the Cowboys from my mouth to your ears. Let's go. Appreciate everybody for jumping in. Let's talk about this. Do you got anything left in the tank? Is there a reason for this season? The land of optimism, right? Come on. They say ain't no party like a cowboy party. Yeah, ain't no way, baby. Let's go. Shout out to you, Jay Lombardi. Yeah. Let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and on. Come on. TY for TD. I see you, fam. Shout out to you, Howard. Shout out to you, Lauren. Thank you for jumping in. All right. Like I said before, I couldn't wait to get off work today and talk to y'all beautiful people that's here. Appreciate you so much as we grind for your mind, baby. The off season is always a long one, right? It's always a situation. Whereas when we look into the off season, we look for optimisms, right? But we have to be objective. I'm hearing so many people saying, hey, toxic fans. But over-optimistic fans are just as bad as toxic fans, right? And you got to be able to manage that point of it, because nobody want to hear a person saying, hey, man, we're going undefeated. We're going to win the Super Bowl. Oh, my goodness, man, there's going to be no injuries. No shortcomings. Mike McCarthy is the best thing since sliced bread. Dan Quinn is the best defensive coordinator in life. Nobody want to hear that all the time too, right? People want to hear objective reasonings, right? We want to call out a spade, right? Let me know. Let me know if I'm wrong, and you guys can go elsewhere. But I try my best to be in the middle of things and try to give you guys some objective reasonings. The positive, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I get it. I can't appease everyone. No. I can't appease everyone. But there's no topic that I would not sit here and talk about, right? I'm not going to run off from anything. And I hope people can understand that part of it, right? And we're going to have our highs, our lows with this team, and that's just how it goes. So with the TY, he's been injured. Right? And he's a long tooth. And it's a different situation between his tooth and Bobby Wagner's tooth. You know, they both long tooths or teeth, you know, but now, you know, individual tooth, you know, they both long in the tooth, if I could say it that way. But that's the reality of it. The Cowboys cut it off the head of the other wide receiver who had experience, right? They couldn't figure out ways to get him the ball, right? And they said, you know what? We cut him to save some money, about $16 million, right? We got $16 million and traded him off to the Cleveland Browns in exchange for, I believe, a fifth or sixth. I forgot the numbers there. And now we got a big voided area. Now, passer rating when targeted for Amari Cooper was 122. 122 when targeted, right? And now we got James Washington. Not Denzel, but we got James, who been the third or fourth option for, dare I say, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, he's on record saying that, hey, in Pittsburgh land, I was never used to my max ability. I was never considered an option on how I used to run my particular routes in college, right? And that's coming from James Washington mouth to you guys' ears. Now, granted, I do agree with new scenery, new area, things will happen better for you if you just get out of the funk and go to another system. Sometimes that can happen better for you. So the Cowboys are looking at this thing now is that we got to make sure we turn over every stone, leave no stone unturned, and see if we can find and fill in that voided area. But one of the things that I don't want the Cowboys to do is to get fixated on, hear me out before you shank me with the butter knife. Shout out to you, Sally. Shout out to you, John. Appreciate you for jumping in. Shout out to you, Shepard. And thank everybody for following me on Facebook. Hit that share button. Sharing is caring. Here's what I don't want them to do is to think it's okay to do these two things. One being, oh, we got a guy, James Washington, we can stop looking. Two being, oh, we can pick up a T.Y. Hilton. We don't need to draft another wide receiver in the draft. No. Player evaluation is 365. And you should always want to become better with your best, right? Now, looking at T.Y., like I said, he's 32 years of age. He's been in the league for 10 years, right? And one can argue when he was healthy, man, my gosh, man, he was a dominant force out there, especially on the outside. Subtle speed, knows the ball, rarely drop the ball or what have you, can create space on his own, can find the soft spots in the zone. When Andrew Luck left, it was like, oh, my, who they got at quarterback over there, coach? They can't figure it out. T.Y. is only 5'10". We need a tall wide receiver to be the number one. This is from Kelly Price. Well, so is or was Randall Cobb, right? Randall Cobb was a short wide receiver. And we'll pull up Randall Cobb, stat line for your mind another day. Matter of fact, let me have that pulling up right now as we going to talk about some of the other things that brought to my attention. And I appreciate you, Kelly Price. I really do appreciate you. Now, here's the thing, Cowboy Nation. This team heading into the 2022 season, I think those who watched the video of us bringing in Brian Schottenheimer, the son of Marty, and that was a situation and a half that the Cowboys can say to themselves, that's much to do with picking up somebody who was familiar with Mike McCarthy. And hear me out, Mike is doing his buddy a solid, right? Bringing him in for another cup of coffee, and hopefully that can spring jump his resume to do the same thing that Ben McAdoo did, right? Come over here to be the passing game coordinator, to draw up plans, to draw up philosophies, schemes, and skills to beat the opposing teams. We hope that can be in the aspect of bringing in Brian Schottenheimer. That is what they're looking for, to help spring him to a situation to help him out fully. But neither here nor there. Let's pull up T.Y. T.Y. right here. T.Y., you ain't got no alibi, Hilton, right? He gonna catch it. All right, so he had 37 targets last season, 23 receptions. Not something that you can go brag and bring home to the table. I think he probably was injured or something like that with these low numbers. Passer rating when targeted was 118. 118.2. But if you look back at the 2020 T.Y., of course, he had 91 targets, right? 56 receptions. And you see the numbers is better, 5 touchdowns, right? And passer rating when target is 92.8. But let's go all the way to 2019. All right, so 45. So it seems as if though he didn't have a very, very high productive career in 2019. But he was a solid sure-hand catcher there, only dropped 2 balls and an average 11.1. And we can all talk about the quarterback that was playing there at that time. But if you go all the way back to 2018, as we go down, we would see these numbers just spring up because he was a true guy that can take the top off the defense, find the soft spots in the zone or what have you. And if you go to 2017, we looking at all of the the times when he was the dominant force over there, especially in 2016, 91 receptions, right? Receiving yards, 1,000 or what have you, 1,448. So we're looking at all of those things, and we want to say to ourselves, well, why is this such a good look for the Cowboys if they do bring in a veteran guy? Shout out to Spot Rack right here. They got all of this good information, stat lines for your mind and everything. He rarely fumbles the ball. What I look for out of this, too, is let's pull up my handy tool right here. We look at games started. He only started 9 games last season, and that's what you get, 331 receptions. All right, so let's see. Snaps at 331. That's not bad at all. It's not a lot of snaps, I meant to say. All right, so we're looking at a high snap count for 688 in 2020. And we're looking at the ratio of 762. All right, so where else we got? This was a low year. This was a low year. High year, high year, high year, high year. And, of course, he don't miss a lot of games. He's played all 16 games here. Well, missed only 1 game in these 2 seasons here. And the only time he only started 1 game was his rookie year in 2012. So we're looking at all of those things, and it looks as if, though, he's a veteran guy, been here for 10 years, and we need to figure out, is he a good fit for the Cowboys? So let's look at the other side of the table, how much money. Let's talk about money aspect of it. Money on my mind, baby. Money on my mind. Appreciate you guys for jumping in. Money, $6.2 million. Too late for T.Y. Iceberg kill you, right? All right, so $6.2 million, and let's see who they compared him to for this numbers here. Emmanuel Sanders, A.J. Green, Marvin Jones, Randall Cobb, okay? And then we look down further. Of course, you see the age of what they pretty much looking at these guys at. All of these guys are long in the tooth, and that's how they came up with his particular salary for expectations for the 2022 season. Now, we do know that the Cowboys love to do the value. Not saying necessarily it's just low ball or nothing, but they look at the value. They look at the value of maybe we offer him a veteran's minimum. Maybe if he's looking into a team that he can ride on with and teach the youth, then that could be a situation for him. And that's all I can see out of this, Cowboy Nation. And he is talented, right? But he's long at the tooth, man. But it's a good number 3. Christopher Gills, appreciate you. So my thing is, let's not put the lipstick on the pig. Y'all know I ain't going to be sitting right here trying to do that with you. Van says, might as well give Law the contract. Yeah, give me the contract, I'm about to be 40, give me the contract. Yeah, give me the contract. I can run an out and up. I can give you one. I got one good move left in me. Tim, appreciate you. I got one good move left in me. T.Y. takes the top off the secondary, Christopher. I don't know if he's going to do that on a consistent basis. He's still quick. He's still quick, but I've seen a few of you guys say, what about Jarvis Landry? Yep. Yeah. Shout out to you, Brian Bradford. He said Scott Walker's still online. Appreciate him. If Scott Walker is in the chat, appreciate you, my brother from another mother. Appreciate you for all the work you do, your love and adulations for this Cowboys Nation, man. Y'all be sure to check out Scott Walker, A to Z Sports Dallas in the morning time. So, with that being said, man, let me know how you guys, honestly, how you guys feel. Will Fuller would take the top off and probably a veteran minimum. Why you pulling up Will Fuller? I'm going to pull up Will Fuller right quick. And keep in mind we have $17 million. And let me see if I can pull up Willie Fuller. Y'all bear with me while I pull up Willie Fuller. All right, man. Hey, man. if the Cowboys say, hey, Law, hey, man, we would like to see you out there on the field, man. First and foremost, I love the Cowboys. I will have to tell everybody, although the money bag would be good, man, but I ain't finna embarrass myself on national TV. No. But neither here nor there. Let me see where Will Fuller at. Okay, Christian Kirk, he got paid. Allen Robinson, he got paid. This thing don't update quick enough. It don't. Let me see. Come on, Fuller. Okay, here we go. I hate when they don't put the market value out here. But he is 27 juxtaposed to 32. Cole Beasley, 32. I didn't know Cole is 32. Man, he's young old, right? Young old as relates to football. Sammy Watkins is out there. But here's the thing, Cowboy Nation and Deshaun Jackson. He got us last year. Them old legs was running on us, didn't he? He got us last year. Every year, it seems as if he play against the Cowboys, he get us for one good play. And Deshaun Jackson got us in that Raiders game. I was like, no way. He cut across to that edge there, man. D.D. Westbrook, he's out there. Big Tay, he 32. I thought Big Tay was at least 35. Okay. Let me see anybody else's name. I'm telling you guys right now, Malik Turner would be a good situation. He's 26. What's up, Malik? What's going on with him? Why nobody is chomping at the bits for him, man? Bring him to the table. He showed up in a game where we saw him spin and get around. What game that was, Cowboy Nation? He spent around and got upfield or what have you. All right, so let's look at this Will Fuller. And Julio Jones, he's 33. Who's better, T.Y. or Julio? Who's better right now? It was the Denver game. Yeah, Malik, the freak Turner, baby. And let me pull up Malik. 26, 4-year. He had a 2-year. He signed a 2-year deal. Is that recent? He signed a 2-year deal with the Green Bay Packers for $1.6 million. Is that recent? I thought he was on the streets. Sometimes this site will be everywhere if they don't do the updates quickly. Let me see, career earnings. That had to be old, right? I think he's a free agent, right? If he's going to Green Bay, this process could be in process right now. This conversation line could be in process. And I don't blame him if he's going to Green Bay. That can't be. Julio's better, Nicole. Appreciate you. Julio's better, but I'm staying away from both of them. Yeah, let's not get fooled with it. But let's go over here to Will Fuller. He signed a 1-year. This is an old contract, right? Dang, man, I can't even trust this website anymore. It's 2021. Okay, he is a free agent. Okay, just making sure he is a free agent. All right, man. Let me go back to Malik. It shows maybe that's his last contract. Maybe that's the situation. But neither here nor there. Let me pull up good old Julio. Appreciate everybody for jumping in. T.Y. is washed, dog. This from Chris. I feel you, man. I tell you what. Let's see. Inactive. Go ahead and retire, man. Go ahead and retire. What he did last season. Julio. Pull up my notepad right here, baby. He had 3 drops. 434 yards. Started 10 games, played in 10 games. Nah. And then in 2020, he only had 9 games. Yeah, dog. 51 receptions. That's pretty good numbers right there. 51 and only 9 games and 700. But that's 2020. That was the pandemic year, and that was in Atlanta, right? A better quarterback. Better type of system. He probably y'all put it in the chat. Is he washed? Oh my gosh, it's all water under the bridge, man. Give me Julio. Look, I'm gonna tell you who I want. Let me see. I want this Jarvis Landry, Dan. It could be an expensive tag right here. Let's see what his market value is. If he asking for too much money, you can wait till after the draft, and that's when all of the prices drop. Because some of the drafted teams that drafting these guys, they're going to make some cuts. And I don't want to hear the Antonio Brown because, yeah, he did say, yeah, I play for the Cowboys or what have you. But that's a story of a different day, right? Let's pull this up right here. $12 million. Is he worth $12 million, though? Ooh, woo. They put him in Robbie Anderson and Sammy Watkins, Robert Woods category because he's right around that edge right here as far as the age-wise, right? But let me pull up his stat line for your mind, baby. Let me pull up his stat line. Let's see what we got here. Appreciate everybody for jumping in. Thank you guys for following. All right, so while that's loading up, Cowboy Nation, how do you guys feel? Nah on Jarvis, sorry. This is from Mike. Faith Family. Fun. What's good? They says nope. Yes, Landry is clutch. All right, he had 2 drops last season. He had 52 receptions, 570 yards, and he played 12 games. That's production for maybe a third receiver. It is production for a third, and depending on some offenses, maybe a second receiver. But, man, he had to fall off real fast because I'm looking at the targets all of those years. He had 100, 138, 140, 49. He had a lot of targets. And then last year he had 87, which is crazy, right? I'm looking at 2 receptions. I'm looking at yards. Last time he had 1,000 yards was 2019. All right, so that price tag a little too high, man. After the draft, I can see literally a team bringing him in on a prove-it deal. But if you wait, because he's 29, and you wait after the draft to bring him in for a cup of coffee, that price tag going to go down. Maybe you sign him for a 1-year or a 2-year situation, depending on, how his agents work. But maybe you sign him for a 1 year for 6.2. You do. You sign him for a 1 year for 6.2. And that is the reality of it when you look at everything. Yep, on O-line at 24, Landry is way better. This is from my guy Cons on Facebook. Appreciate you. Landry is way better than T.Y. I feel you, man. You don't have to make up no alibi, for that. That's just how it goes. But is he $12 million worth way better than T.Y.? That's the thing you have to ask yourself. Do you pay him $12 million? And T.Y. market value was at 6.2. So, it is what it is at this point. I bet T.O. would dominate this passing game nowadays, even at 48. I don't know, man. I saw T.O. struggling when he went up there to Jackson State, and one of my DBs at Jackson State kind of got him a little bit, How about Emmanuel Sanders? Emmanuel, he got a facility. He worked out right at this facility right down the streets in Richardson, Texas. So, I mean, if you bring him in, it would have to be a veteran's minimum. It would have to be a situation whereas he's doing us a solid, right? To bring him in, camp legs, showing us the ropes or what have you. That would be that situation. Landry is twice as good as T.Y. That's why he's double the price. This is from Khan. Look, I ain't finna go back and forth with you on that one. He's double the price, but if nobody pick him up, and then after the draft, that price gonna go down. They're gonna look at it like, hey, it's a situation there. But I feel you. I would love to see Landry running some routes inside a dome, right? I'd love to see him down here in the South. I would love to see him get acclimated with a different kind of caliber of quarterback. I would love that. Why are you out on Antonio Brown? This is from Craig. I'm not. Look, this is the thing. This is my God honest truth about Antonio Brown. I'm not out on the football player Antonio Brown. I'm out on the personality of Antonio Brown. Look, the Cowboys organization could barely handle Amari Cooper. Personality. And he's not docile, but he's just as a silent person, and he gives you zero emotions and things like that. To go from that level to the extreme level of what Antonio Brown would do here, oh my gosh. If you thought T.O. was a situation here, my goodness. And trust me, the same could be said about T.O. T.O. the football player was good for us. It was T.O. the mouth, because he didn't muffle his mouth, right? And he did. He said, that's my quarterback. He was really telling you guys the truth. Tony Romo was his quarterback. It was. And Dez Bryant the same way. Dez Bryant the same way. And the thing is with Dez, it happened on his way out, right? But Dez was coming in and was painted with the same brush of T.O. Didn't get the benefit of the doubt. Had the smear campaign before he got here about the other outlets. And it was crazy. Craig says, I'm talking to football players. We need production on the field. We do. We do need production on the field. And I tell people all the time, everyone have a reason, but results are what matter. Well, would you sign Jarvis to a 3-year deal or draft a wide receiver? At this point, I would look into the draft. I would not touch no wide receivers more at this point. You just signed 2 wide receivers this offseason, Noah Brown, and you signed James Washington. You signed both of those guys. You signed both of those. Those two contracts you got there. Go into the draft. Believe to yourself that you don't have a wide receiver outside of CeeDee Lamb, and you still draft BPA. You go draft your wide receiver, and if the wide receiver that you really want, you really, really have love for, your eyes are just googly eyes for it, and you didn't get that wide receiver, then after the draft, when the price, and you signed 3. I'm sorry, you signed Gallup. You signed 3 wide receivers already. Pardon me. You signed Noah Brown, James Washington, and you signed Michael Gallup. But after the draft, after you done went through your draft evaluation, there's going to be a wave of wide receivers that you didn't get or what have you. If it's somehow that's the situation, you googly eyes over a wide receiver and another team scoop them up, and you're like, dog, I didn't get that wide receiver. Then you go into the offseason looking for that other veteran wide receiver to help out. And also, you just got guys, be aware. Be aware, baby. That after the draft, there's the undrafted rookies out there that the hype machine is going to pump up. There's somebody from some obscure state football team, right? That somebody's going to say, hey, man, he ran a 4.3, but he was sick in his pro day, and he ran a 4.5 or 4.8, right? Man, but he was really good, man. He was really good. And Cowboys picked him up. He's 6'6", and he runs a 4.3. That's somebody that's going to say, yeah. And then you're going to hear the music. Thank you for tuning in to the Law Nation Film Session as we take a deeper look at Tony Rogers from such and such school, who's 6'6", run like a gazelle, can catch everything in sight. It's going to happen. I promise you. It's been like that for the last 20 years or so. And I get it, Cowboy Nation. We want the big pick now, right? We want to make some things happen. Law, do you like Sam Williams? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Shout out to him. Shout out to Ole Miss or what have you. Shout out to the Mississippi boys, man. I just believe people from Mississippi, boy, we play through the echoes of the whistle. And he's going to be a guy, if the Cowboys do decide to draft him. Better not be in the second round, by the way. But if he fool around and fall enough and then the Cowboys pick him up, that would be good for us, right? Khan says first round with the 24th pick, the Cowboys select Nakobe Dean. And, okay. Is it Tyler Linderbaum too? Oh, you just trying to put out all of the people that they could possibly get. Devin Lloyd. DQ is doing his due diligence. Yeah, Damon. Yeah, he is. He's doing his due diligence. And here's the thing, Cowboy Nation. There's nothing, absolutely nothing wrong with that. Law, if you could have one free agent, who would it be? Are you talking about from the ramifications now? Or was it for earlier? You know, I still want Bobby Wags, baby. And I don't think that the LA said they locked him up. They got this dude on lockdown. They said, Bobby, we ain't gonna let you get up out of here. No, you from LA too? What kind of hamburger you like? What's your favorite milkshake? Are you married? You know, we got all of the riches for you right here. What you want? Jermaine Johnson is a Taco 2.0. No, Bobby. Come on, man. Don't do Jermaine like that, man. Top three needs for law perspective. I think we need right now, and I appreciate you from that, Moolah. We absolutely need an interior guy, right, on the offensive line, trenches. We absolutely need it right now in the draft as well, trenches. Interior. I like to build from the inside out. I truly believe if you build from the inside out, there will be no problems, no woes. I like J.C. Treader right now. He's a free agent guy out there on the streets. He gave up only 10 pressures, allowed one hit on the quarterback and one sack. Let me see if I can pull up Treader. Let me see if I can pull him up. Appreciate you guys' patience. JC, not Jackson, but Treader. Here we go. I really like JC Jackson, though, by the way. I really thought the Cowboys should have made a play on that. But this is Treader. He made 5 penalties last season, which was terrible, man. Come on, man. Stop holding, right? Or whatever the penalty was. And he had allowed only one sack. But disregard all of this stuff right here. Disregard all of that. I know you guys don't like Pro Football Focus at that. Snaps at center, 1,000 snaps. That's not bad. That's a lot of snaps. Hits allowed. He only allowed Baker Mayfield to get hit one time. One time. And one sack. That's not bad, Cowboy Nation. Total pressures, 10 pressures. Not bad. You play 17 games. And you only allowed 10 pressures. Started in every game last season. And he's a long tooth, by the way. That's a long tooth. But if the Cowboys want to get serious with it, then they should pick him up for, dare I say, a cup of coffee. Bring him in. Let it be competition. I know they high on Tyler Biotish. Bring in JC. Not Jackson at this point. But bring in this dude, man. This is Sam Williams. This was his interview.
Jones. Me a lot. I met Mr. Jones at the All-American campaign. He was a pretty nice guy. He talked to me a lot. He kind of said he needed a Michael Parsons, another one of them. So, I'm just hope for the best. I'd love to be a Cowboy, but whatever happens, happens, you know. Me a lot.
Man, that dude look just like Michael Parsons, don't he? He got the big neck and the shoulders and everything, and he got the sun. I said, man, if y'all say, Lord, man, you look like James Harden, right? This dude look like Michael Parsons, then. And I'm 9 years older than James, by the way, you know. So that is what it is. But shout out to this guy, Sam Williams. There's another clip out there of him running through through the work shoot or what have you, and Dan Quinn is like right there with him. It's on YouTube. Just type in Sam Williams workout with Dan Quinn, and you should see that video there. I would share that video, but I don't want the people to say, Law, you're stealing my content. So I ain't going to go there. So y'all go check them out and view that, because they're very personal with their content. But neither here nor there. How you guys feel about him? It is what it is. Michael Carson's. Your heart is twin, Law. No. Shout out to James Harden, though. I think it's the beard, right? It's the beard. Shout out to you, Eric. Appreciate you on the Facebook. Appreciate you, man. Fuller is better. Who is Fuller? Oh, you talking about Will Fuller? Yeah. My beard is older than James Harden. I probably had facial hair before he even had hair on his body, though. For real. By me being as old as I am over him. But shout out to James Harden. I heard that he's doing pretty well in Philly. Appreciate him. Come on, Gina. She said, you better look at. I appreciate you, I thank you so much. You look like Denzel Washington's son, just from Javion Jones. Appreciate you. You related to Jerry? Because I got a few things that we got to talk about Jerry about. But it is what it is at this point. It is what it is. All right, so we got some more things we want to uncover right quick.
The best thing for the Cowboys. Oh, good.
The best thing for the Cowboys. This is Norm Hiskus. I hope I said his name right. Shout out to you, Auntie. Roll in reviews. Appreciate you. This was Norm. He was on, of course, 1310 The Ticket. And he says, and I'm not trying to peel back old news, but he goes into details. He goes into details of Randy Gregory being gone. JR says, Jay Lombardi says, IR squad.
Oh, no.
It is funny, though. But he talked about the good stuff about Randy Gregory being gone, and I'm going to give you guys my thoughts, and then we're going to jump over here to this other station to hear their thoughts on the wide receiver market. But before we go any further, this is from 1310 The Ticket, Norm.
Good for the Cowboys.
Well, as you all know, I've never been a huge fan of the game of Randy Gregory. I think he's a good player. Please don't get me wrong here. But I don't believe he's a $14 million a year player. This is a player who just simply isn't available enough. And if you're going to fork over that kind of money, you'd like him to be available like Zach Martin, basically. Just be there. Be there all the time. And I know people get unhappy with certain contracts or certain players, and it's a China doll and things like that. What availability is critical here. And Gregory has never had a season of full availability. But that on the side, he's still a good player. The $14 million, that would have put a gash in the Cowboys' ability to spend. Now let's look a little bit at what happened since he's gone.
All right, so I love Norm, man. But, hey, you see how he be talking? That joker, he must be on the mic like this. Randy Gregory. Come on, step back from the mic, man. All he needs is one mic, man, because if he ever come to my studio, I'm like, man, I got the Norm mic over here. This mic belongs to Norm.
Oh, no.
Oh, my gosh, man. But I ain't going to talk about Norm no more. But he did say, soaked Mike. Oh, man. Hey, Norm coming over, man. Let's bring out, we'll bring him, we'll have our own individual cushion for him. Like, put this one on, Norm. Put that one on, man. No, I got the Norm cushion, baby. But he said the Cowboys should have the juicy mouth of George. It's crazy. Get it wet. Get it wet, Norm. All right, so let me get back to football. Let me rewind because I lost my thought, man.
Critical here.
Here you go.
Him to be available like Zach Martin, basically. Just be there. Be there all the time. And I know people get unhappy with certain contracts or certain players, and it's a China doll and things like that. What availability is critical here. And Gregory has never had a season of full availability. But that on the side, he's still a good player. The $14 million, that would have put a gash in the Cowboys' ability to spend.
All right, so yeah, he's spitting, dog. Yeah, I have my umbrella ready. But he did say that it'll put a gash in the ability for the Cowboys to spend. And I'm really puzzled about this spending aspect of the Cowboys, because I always looked at it like, okay, cool. We didn't get Randy Gregory. I was kind of upset at all of that, to be real with you guys. I was like, no, man, this dude finally get right, and then he want to move on or what have you. And it's his choice. It's his choice, right? But the money that we didn't spend on him, I thought for sure the Cowboys were going to say, all right, cool. You want to leave me? I thought for sure the Cowboys were going to pull the Kanye West. Like, Kim, you going to leave me? I'm going to go pick up Cheney, whatever that girl name. She looked just like Kim, I thought the Cowboys were going to be like, all right, cool. You going to leave me? You gonna pull that quick one on me? Cool. I got $70 million that can go somewhere else. But they didn't do it. Now, granted, we got an old wait and see on Dante Fowler. We got a good chance in the situation that Dan Quinn can put his hands on him and everything can work its way out. But I thought for sure we can use that money, not just on the edge, but throw it at somebody else. Throw it at an offensive lineman, or throw it at Bobby Wags. That would make us feel real comfortable. Not saying you throw him $70 million. No, don't get it twisted. But at least throw a contract at him. Al says Cheney is way hotter and younger. Less miles on Cheney, huh? Oh, my God. I didn't mean to let that slip out.
Now let's look a little bit at what happened since he's gone. Well, I think you'll believe this too, Donnie. I think this club is going to re-sign Jaron Kearse. I don't think having or not having Gregory would have had anything to do with that.
Yeah, they've already re-signed Kearse. 2 years.
Yes. And what I'm saying is, if Gregory were here, they'd have re-signed Kearse.
I think
and
you're
if
right.
Gregory weren't here, they'd have re-signed Kearse.
No question. Sorry about that. Yes, I think you're right about that.
But Durance Armstrong, no, he would not have been re-signed, I don't believe, if they had managed to pin down Gregory. Brian Anger, no, the initial feelings coming into free agency was the Cowboys flatly didn't feel they could afford Brian Anger. And now they've signed him 3 years for $9 million. Life is good to be a good punter.
All right, man, hold on. I just don't think on the open market that Brian Anger was declaring that I'm going to get the $9 million from someone. I really don't think that that's the situation. But we paid him, and that's a good deal for us, right? We got a punter that we don't have to worry about for 3 years. Get Chandler Jones. Is Chandler Jones available? I would love to see. Let me see. Chandler Jones. Is he still available? I forgot all about him. I thought he signed with somebody. He had 11 sacks last season. He had 1 sack. He was injured in 2020. 19 sacks in 2019. 12 sacks in 18. 17 sacks in 17. Man, That dude know how to find ways to get to the quarterback. Not flashy, but he find ways. Is he available? No, he's on the Raiders. Okay, good. I thought for sure he went somewhere. Okay, appreciate y'all, man. Then I would have been banging on the table talking about Jones, right? Go get him. So he's with the Raiders. Put it like this. Ooh, and they got Crosby on the other side. That division. Who all in there? They got Denver, the Raiders, the Chargers. Who else there? The Chiefs. That division is crazy, huh? That division, just like that. I'm glad we don't have to play them every year, right? That division. Oh my gosh, man. Yeah, that division is pretty. That's going to be a good division to watch. I like that division. If you think about it, you got the Chargers. They got Samuels. They got my guy J.C. Jackson. They went and got they paper champs right now. You know, Khalil Mack. They got the young quarterback Justin Herbert. Man, that division that division is pretty solid.
They re-signed Leighton Vander Esch. Now, you may not regard that as something big, but that was a guy that started the entire season last year. And by the way, wasn't a bad player at all. But would the Cowboys have re-signed Leighton Vander Esch? I don't believe so. I believe they would have somehow patched that position with a draft choice or Jabril Cox or something else.
I think, Norm, that the Cowboys still should patch that position with the linebacker. I seen you guys said N'Kobe Dean. I seen you guys said Devin Lloyd, Chad Mumba. You know, you guys said some linebackers. You know, are you guys still high on Christian Harris? You know, you got some guys that you can pretty much help out at that linebacker role. Or you got Brandon Wagner, but they ain't going to let him up out of L.A., baby. To live and die in L.A., they ain't going to let him go up out of there. But I don't think that not signing Randy Gregory had anything to do with LVE. I think LVE was always going to come back here. And to LVE's defense, he did show up in that San Francisco game, right? I was like, yeah, man, who's 55? 55. Is that a new 55? 55 did show up in that that game. That was his game. And he did show up in that Washington football team game. You know, he did show up pretty good. But it is what it is. You'll take, Jay Lombardi says he would take Dean, Mama, Clark, or Tyndale over Lloyd. I feel you, man.
And do the Cowboys still have money left? Yes, they do. Yes, they do. After all those signings,
I do like
they
Anthony
still
Barr.
have some money left. And my fervent hope is that they use the money they have left to re-sign the free agent center J.C. Treader, whom I believe is the best for the Cowboys player left in the open market.
Oh, he said the same name I
Yes,
said. Hold on. Watch how you say J.C. Treader.
Would the Cowboys have re-signed Leighton Vander Esch? I don't believe so. I believe they would have somehow patched that position with a draft choice or Jabril Cox or something else. And do the Cowboys still have money left? Yes, they do. Yes, they do. After all those signings, they still have some money left. And my fervent hope is that they use the money they have left to re-sign the free agent center J.C. Treader, whom I believe is the best for the Cowboys player left in the open market. But I guess what I'm saying here, Donnie, is if Gregory was only going to play 12 games next year, or 13, 14 he played once in his career, over 12, that was the only time in his career he played over 12. Now, maybe Gregory has passed all of his problems. God,
I got it. Norm, it's the F words and the S words, man. You're going to get showered, baby. You like the person, Donnie on the other side, like, man, I don't have to take a shower. All I need is some Ivory soap or some of that good old Spice soap body wash, It's coming on me. It's raining on me. Because whenever he say a F word or S word, man, it's a bath time for me, baby. Oh my God! I used to have a track coach like that, man, and I was sitting there like, Coach, man, you got me, man. He landed in the eye this time, Coach, man. Come on, and he said, "Good, you may run faster." I said, "No, Coach." He said, "Good old Doc, man. I miss him. May he rest in peace, man." But everybody knew that when it was time for track practice, you don't sit up front. Because you go get the shower. And he says, that's my nutrients. Might make you run faster. Anthony Barr. What about Anthony Barr? I see a lot of people talk about Anthony Barr. If the price is right, somehow when I looked at his stats, I will have to look at the film versus the stats to see whether or not he would be a good fit. Collectively speaking, I think I already did the comparisons analysis that even LVE last season had better stats than Anthony Barr. But it is what it is. And you got to put everything in context too. So I did like Anthony Barr coming out of the draft or what have you many moons ago, and I did followed his skill sets or what have you, and he played well. Matched up with the other linebacker there. They got a brother. I forgot his name at the tip of my tongue, but he played better with that linebacker there. Let's go.
God willing, he is past all of his problems. But he's done a lot of damage to his body. You can't do the things Gregory's done to his body without scattering some damage there. He's about to turn 30 years old. And I'm just not sure 5-year contracts for $70 million for a player who turned 30 this season are really good deals. Now, could it have been a 2-year contract? Yes, it could have. It could have been a 2-year contract. But there was $28 million guaranteed to Gregory.
Sure.
And good for him. He hit his payday, Donnie. And we discussed before, Gregory is going to have one shot at a payday this year.
Yeah, so don't blame him at all for trying to take advantage of the situation. Now, I disagree with you on some of these points.
Yep.
Because I do feel that the Cowboys could have signed Randy Gregory and still signed some of those other guys, because I think Dan Quinn and his mind and how his defensive philosophy is that he wants a defensive rotation. So with the way that Randy Gregory's contract is made up in Denver, I feel it's the same that it's in Dallas. So they probably structure that to have a low number at the very beginning of this and a higher number the last 2 years. Basically, this contract is 3 years and $42 million that they can get out of in 3 years.
All right, so I've seen some people put in Will Hernandez. Maybe that's the situation. He allowed 7 sacks, which was third in the NFL. That's a lot of sacks to allow. Let's go. Hits allowed. He allowed the quarterback to get hit 7 times, 36 pressures. Penalties, he had 8 penalties. And he's a hothead, too. Will Hernandez, before coming out of the draft or what have you, we was high on Will Hernandez. He actually worked out with our guy right down the street in Duke Manyweather, and he was in that program. And I think that Will Hernandez, before he got tainted with that Giants mess, was very likable in a sense, and we thought that he would be a good person for the Cowboys, but since he went to the Giants, it just didn't work out for him, right? I mean, you had the mindset of, hear me out, Cowboy Nation, that you're going to draft these guards and tackles, and they're going to replicate what the Cowboys did, right, with first-round draft picks. And it never worked out for them. It never worked out for Saquon Barkley and the quarterback Jones over there, Danny Dimes is what they call him. So it's a. How do y'all like him? Is it a good situation to bring in Will Hernandez? Giants were terrible. Get him out of there. I feel you, yo. It was somebody else that you guys said. Anthony Barr, we would see about that. Cole Beasley, F55, SU. I don't think that he will come back. Deshaun Watson is still facing charges. Our brother can't win for losing. This is from Party with the Stars. The whole situation with Deshaun Watson, and I'm not trying to do tick for tack, but we have a guy that wears 21 on our team, never been arrested. The lady came out and said that she's going to lie on you and all of these things, and he got painted with a bigger and nastier brush. And I know DV is probably different from touching ladies in the massage thing and situations like that, whether it was call it consensual or not. But I look at it like if Roger Goodell railroaded Ezekiel Elliott because he never looked the same, nor he had that same exuberance about himself. I think that, it's hard to see Deshaun Watson getting out there to play a game. It's just hard. It's just hard to see that. And then on top of that, with the whole gray area with what happened with him, it's hard. And watching the media backpedaling like Deion, it's crazy too. So it is what it is. I hope all is well. I hope all is well with these guys and the way they operate things. I hope Deshaun Watson get a chance to play. But it is what it is. Law isn't the linebacker from 57 from the 49ers a free agent. You're talking about Dre Greenlaw? I would like to see him over here. Yeah. Let's go.
So it's dealt it's a $6 million cap hit in 2022 and then 16 in 23 and 24. And then you can get out of it in 2025. So with so little money on the cap at the very beginning, that allows you more cap space to kind of re-sign those guys. So I do feel that some of the guys that they signed still would have been available to sign even if Gregory was here. And the Cowboys obviously thought that he was worth all that because they thought they had him and they presented him the contract and they wanted him to take the same deal that he took in Denver. So they had thoughts that the bad things were behind him and the only reason he wouldn't be available is because of injury and not anything else.
Well, the Cowboys did not initially offer this amount of money.
No, they didn't initially offer that. All right, I'm not going to play no more of that. Shout out to those boys over there. If you want to listen to the full audio of that, I'm gonna pin it to you guys in the chat. Just bear with me. But the Cowboys do have $17.6 million now after all of the other contract stuff went through. And keep in mind, we have $10 million just waiting in a reserve fund, like an escrow, an account, and we'll get the $10 million after June 1st. It's just sitting there looking for us. And, of course, we don't get no comp picks for La'el Collins. I keep hearing people saying, yeah, Law, we get a comp pick for him. No. We cut him. He wasn't a free agent. So we don't get nothing in return. Now, there is a chance in the situation, I believe, that we will get comp picks for Randy Gregory. So every sack that Randy Gregory get and every performance that he do over there in Denverland, we want it to be pretty much productive so we can get at least a third-round draft pick. I think that's the highest comp that you can get, right? Y'all let me know if I'm wrong. I think you get a third-round draft pick for that. So we waiting. We flat out waiting. And, of course, there's no comp pick available for Amari Cooper as well because of the same principle. We didn't lose these guys to free agency. Still got to go get Schultz a deal so he doesn't play on that tag. This is from Bo Kemp. Appreciate you, man. Yeah. So we still waiting on Dalton Schultz. I really don't want Dalton to play on that franchise tag. I really don't. Connor Williams is gone. This is from Robert Wallace. Yeah. I really think that the Cowboys should operate like this with the whole aspect of Connor Williams being gone. Please don't think that you can insert Connor McGovern at that spot at left guard because we already got a sample size of him playing at left guard. I really think that Connor McGovern is a better right guard than he is at left, and he's a better fullback than he is at left. But our right guard situation and scenario is sealed, right? We have no issues with right guard. We don't. So you can keep Connor McGovern as that pretty much the swing guard, you know. We can pretty much keep him at that fullback. So it is what it is at this point. But the Cowboys really need to look into this draft and say to themselves, all right, if we don't fill in through the free agency guard, even if they don't go get J.C. Tretter, right? Because I think that his value is really should be looking good. If we talk about continuity and good old boys situation, J.C. Tretter was drafted under Mike McCarthy's administration when he was over there in Green Bay land, right? It should be a no-brainer. Bring him in for a good cup of coffee. Paul says, Law, you may have spoke up their plan at left guard, McGovern. I would really be upset if the Cowboys say, hey, we like our guys. We don't want to look into replacing the guard situation. Connor McGovern, the time that he did play at left guard, it started off rocky, but I think that we can get his feet up under him and keep him at left guard. I would be angry at that. David says, look, Law, Mike McCarthy has no pull or no mouthpiece. Oh, my God. He's Sully Mike, huh? Faith, Family, and Fun said, go ahead and bring in Will then. Will Hernandez, bring in Willie. One thing I can tell you about Will Hernandez, he will fight you. He will pull you off. He will do all of those things. Akeem says Anthony Hitchens is a good inside linebacker. Man, we better go draft an inside linebacker. If it's not Bobby Wags or Anthony Barr, then we better go in and draft a guy. We got LVE. Look, the Cowboys mindset literally is this right here, Cowboy Nation. Whether you like it or not, the Cowboys mindset is this right here. We picked up Luke Gifford. We got a promising linebacker out of Jabril Cox. And we got LVE. I think that the free agency as it relates to linebackers is over with, until after the draft. But the Cowboys better get into this draft and draft a linebacker. Point blank, period. The Cowboys better get into this draft and draft a guard. Whether it be a tackle, they got positional flex that can play inside, or it be a guard, they got positional flex that can play center. You guys know what I'm talking about. Zion Johnson. There's nobody as it relates to offensive linemen, whether it's tackle or guard, that bench press more than Zion Johnson. And far as Tyler Linderbaum, I see why he probably didn't bench press in the combine or what have you, because he didn't want to let people know, I can only do it 15 times. Kenyon Green, bench press 20 times of that 225. That doggone Zion, who ran a tenth of a second slower, I believe, than Tyler Linderbaum, who's perceived to be athletic, right? Zion bench pressed that thing 12 more reps than Kenyon Green. Strength is strength, baby. You can hide a lot of things, but you can't hide strength. As an offensive front down in the trenches, give me somebody who's bigger, athletic, stronger. Give me the stronger, bigger guy. Give me somebody who's strong, who know how to play with leverage. And I like Kenyon Green, believe it or not. Kenyon Green, I like him. But give me that strength, baby. Give me somebody that's going to fold you up like a wallet, I want somebody that can say, all right, cool, all right, you got me, all right, I got you next. Law, who you want to draft? I really want big bodies, man. If the Cowboys go with all O-line with the 24th pick, I like the Zion Johnson, baby. Neil, he's going to be gone, right? The big boy from what is it, Bama? He's gone. He ain't gonna be a situation for him. Not gonna be a situation for us to grab him. Jordan Davis. Oh my gosh. Y'all know, man. I've been yelling out, pushing big body can't stop me. I like big boys like that inside that can help out for everyone else. But if it's a wide receiver situation, if the Cowboys go with that, whoever the Cowboys got to be safe with this, because we got haters that's lurking, hiding behind the bushes, looking. They got notification to everybody, Cowboys content creators. They got notification to all of the Cowboys beat writers. Anybody that tweet anything out, they listening. And the name of that team is the Philadelphia Eagles. They want to be the Cowboys so bad, baby. And they picking 3 picks ahead of us, right? They got 3 picks, right? So whoever we say we really love, Cowboys better be doing some hoodwinking stuff. It would be like they're gonna try to jump in front of it. Oh my gosh, baby! It don't matter. They don't even look for the first round. They're not even gonna be using their own scouting report. They sitting there, okay, who the Cowboys said that they like? That's who we going with. Whoever the Cowboys say that they like. Literally. I'm for real, man. The Mile High Stadium is on fire. Oh, wow. Yeah, I didn't know that, Big. Shout out to you, man. So we got to have a lot of smoke screens in this, man. We got to start guiding them in another way. That's what the Philadelphia Eagles do, baby. They like to come in, scoop, send their private eye over. Say, yeah, we got them, That's what they do. Maybe Steven can hit another home run like he did with Parsons. Yeah, they didn't see Parsons coming. They wouldn't have allowed that trade action to happen, right? What are the chances of us landing the Honey Badger with the signing of J-Ron? Brian, appreciate you. For all that the Honey Badger do, I think that J-Ron and what he do in this particular system is different. I think Honey Badger can play down inside. I think he can play that nickel. I think he can play free. I think he can play all roles as it relates to DB play. I really think that the price tag for what he's asking for could be too rich for the Cowboys' blood. Let me pull up my guy Todd Archer account. Bobby Belt. I'm going to touch back on that later. We'll touch back on that later. I don't want to sway it. But I want to pull up Todd Archer of what he had to say about these signings. And I meant to do that early. What time we got? It's 4:21. It's still good timing. Let me show you. Oh, man, Todd been eating good, man. What the world? It's good, ain't it? Crawfish. You crawfish lovers, let me know. All right, Fowler. Base salary, $1.5 million. Bonus, $1 million. They're scrubbing at the bottom of the ground. Scrub the ground. They're scrubbing at the bottom of the ground. And the Cowboys, what Stephen Jones said in the previous press conference about 6 or 7 years ago, I think it could have been 4 years ago. No, it was 6 or 7 years ago. He said, the Cowboys, we look at it like this in free agency. We have a price that we present to the players that's in the free agency, and we don't bend. So if that is the situation for Fowler, they had a price. They presented it to him as a free agent player, and they said, nah, this is what we're going to give you. We're going to give you, based upon your production, based upon where you at, we're going to give you 1.5. probably started it off lower than that because you start off with your lowest price available first. And in their mind, $3 million could have been the cap. But that's all we can afford right now. We sticking to it. So let's go to the other guy, James Washington. They gave this man $152,000 check the day he signed. That's your bonus. And then they gave him $1 million. That is with only $895,000 guaranteed. He better not get no fines. You got to fine your socks too long? All right, cool. We can take the guaranteed money now. All you left with is $152,000 and some change, right? A little over that, So the cap number for the veteran benefit is $895,000. This is James Washington. Cowboys ain't playing with it. No. This is all we can give you, dog. This is all we can give you. So you can only imagine if James Washington was 26, 27, could be right around that age. T.Y. Hilton. T.Y. Hilton, veterans minimum. He 32. That's a long tooth. This is all we can offer you, man. Try not to bite into that apple. It'll take that tooth up out of you, man. This is all we got. That's some negotiation. And that's why Bobby was like, man, I ain't finna fly into Dallas, man. That's all you offering me? Look, they were so cocky with Von Miller since he said he want to play here. They didn't even bother to call him and say, hey, dog, we got some oodles and noodles for you, man. Half of a box of Fruit Loops, man. They didn't even pick up the phone for him. And let's see, right here. He did. I think he posted. I think he did post it. Here you go. Carlos Watkins and Jeremy, sprinkle me, baby. Benefited from the veterans minimum, basically. Oh my gosh, $1 million base salary, baby, with $152 signing bonus. That's what we do. That's what we do. So the negotiation for T.Y., we'll give you veteran minimum. Negotiation strategy for Bobby Wags were probably like this. Now, my guy Kelvin Gray, he did say that if the offer is on the table for Bobby Wags for it to be like $4 to $6 million, if he signed that for the L.A. Rams, then that would be amazing, right? But if we know that he signed that for the L.A. Rams, right, we be sitting there like, dog, you couldn't find $4 to $5 million in the couch somewhere to give this dude to play over here? That's just how it goes, man. And I'm not saying that he signed for that much, but it's expected to be that much. Deshaun Watson may be clear. This is from Deshaun Taylor. Appreciate you, Deshaun's on Deshaun. He might be clear. He might be clear. But I go back to what I said earlier. Ezekiel Elliott never been arrested. Ezekiel Elliott never been charged with any heinous crime or anything like that. And he still had to serve time. But it is what it is. And I'm not saying tick for tack, but I think what's more detrimented to the team or what have you, to the NFL, is the Deshaun Watson storyline juxtaposed to what Ezekiel Elliott allegedly didn't do or did do. But it is what it is. But they overpaid for several guys on the top also. At the top also. Well, who did they overpay? Who did they overpay? Who did the Cowboys overpaid? I think that the Cowboys gave DeMarcus Lawrence the market rate of upon which what he was asking for. He wanted Khalil's Mack type of money. He didn't necessarily get Khalil's Mack type of money, right? But he got what the market was rendering. You say the market It's based upon your production on the field. It have no emotions attached to it. And predicated upon, let's use Hill situation and scenario. The wide receiver Tyreek Hill. Based upon his production and level of product that he put out there on the field, he wanted what Devontae Adams got. And the market declares and determines that. Not his individual feelings. And the Chiefs said, hold on, hear me out. We will be willing to pay you this, but, man, we can't go there because it's going to hamper everything else. But what we would do is we will allow you to test the market and see if anyone is willing to pay such a price. And we would put our tender on that. And see, my beautiful people that's watching, we don't have that ability here in Dallas. The willing and dealing. So when y'all say overpaid, no, they paid what the market was willing to render Dak Prescott, but they didn't allow him to go test the market. You say the thing is, they allow, hear me out, Dalton Schultz to test the market and even put 2 first-round tenders on him. And if he was of any value that necessary for that, then a team would have said, you know what, we will give you 2 first-round draft picks for Dalton Schultz. But there's no reasonable accommodation for that because there's no real market for Dalton Schultz. That's why nobody entertained that. 2 first-round draft picks for Dalton Schultz. It was joking. It was a jokeable, pretty much disrespecting the tight ends market, by the way, because no one put 2 first-round draft picks out. But I come here to tell y'all beautiful people that's watching right now, as much as you look at Rain Dakota Prescott, for those who despise his level of skill set and his play, I'm quite sure if you'd have put a tender on Dak Prescott and said we will say it's non-exclusive, we put 2 first-round draft picks out there, and you'll have to pay Dak Prescott, I'm quite sure that a team would say, you know what? At the time, he won 40-plus games or what have you. Yes, we would sacrifice 2 first-round draft picks, and we would pay the load for Dak Prescott. But the Cowboys never did that. They never did it. Dak would have been gone. I promise you, he would have been gone. Case in point, you see other quarterbacks leave that had less ability. Carson Wentz at one point left. They got rid of him. They got out of a $30-40 million contract. He went somewhere else. Now he's circled back, and he's back at the NFC East. So when you say overpaid, no, they paid him what the market was willing to render, but they didn't open him up for the market. They just paid him the market price. The same could be said about D-Law. You could have a team would have been easily saying, man, this dude had 14 sacks and he doubled back and he got 11. Shoot, a team would have easily said, they would have painted a picture and said, man, this dude had 14 sacks his first season that he played on that franchise tag. Didn't show any signs of regressions. But the Cowboys said, hey, prove it to me again. You could have easily walked off with one of those multiple first-round draft picks, or you could have put a first and a second tender. Who would take that now for D-Law? A first and a second-round draft pick for D-Law. You see, and even it goes all the way back to 2 weeks ago. I'm just talking money to you guys now. Business, one-on-one. They refused to cut D-Law for $10 million, right? And they doubled back. And when Stephen Jones got on the phone with Daddy, he said, Dad, come on. D-Law is talking about getting traded now. He requested to be released, Dad. What we do? And Dad said, you know what? He's been on this team and been loyal and faithful for this team for all of these years. Pay the man. He went from getting $10 million on a one-year situation, re-up, to $40. Don't y'all know how far apart that is? That's a big old far and apart, you know. That's like me going to the car lot and I'm looking for a car and I'm staring right at name me one of those, like a little small Prius or something. And I said, yeah, man, you know, I really came for this Prius. And I leave with a Lambo. Two different, Pinto. Came in with a Pinto, leave out with a Tesla, you know. People fail to realize that. That's a big jump. Because we refuse to eat it. Lawrence says, shout out to you, man. Love that name, by the way. 10 million was Steven's idea. Jerry idea was 40. You're right. You know, so that is the reality of it. And we'll find out, because even with the deal, it do add us an extra breathable room, breathe space, right? We got breathable room. Because it don't matter how much I talk about this. Dak Prescott cap hit is only taking $1 million away for this season. Yes, it's going to jump up for next season because he restructured his contract. People fail to realize that. But experts say that the salary cap is going to jump from 208 because they're working on part of the gambling revenue and part of the TV deal is really going to kick in 2024. But they're working on this, and it should jump up to 280. For 2023, so it's going to be a big jump. And everybody know you climb and you fight to the top of that. So next season, the salary cap is expected, unless we get another pandemic, unless we have another one of those type of situation that happen, in barring people not going up to the games and turning on TV, and I doubt it, because this game of football proven that it's recession-proof. People still figure out ways to turn on the TV and watch football. That is expected for the money to be 280. That's for the 2023. And then from there, from 2024, that thing is finna jump up to $380 million. And if you play around with your portfolios and everything, check me out. That Amazon stock is looking really good right now. It's looking really good. I get good checks from dividends from Amazon stock. Matter of fact, there's somebody right now. You know, Greg Berry, get your toilet paper ready. You know, I'm saying right now that you can order some supplies from Amazon, and before I end the stream, it will be a knock at your door and the supplies are at your foot. You know, you look down, you say, oh, there's a package in the mail that came from Amazon. Y'all think I'm lying. You know, it is what it is. Shout out to you, Coach Ma. Appreciate you. All right, so that is the situation. And like I said, look, I wish I should have screenshotted this. But the Cowboys got $17.6 million. There are teams that's way below this threshold, still willing and dealing, still bringing in people. I mean, if this is the case in the scenario, y'all seen what the Rams were able to do to re-up some people. We've seen what the Dolphins were able to do. Now, of course, they started off with a lot of coins, but ain't nothing stopping them for continuing to build their franchise. The Buccaneers, the Jaguars and beyond, the Giants, they still making moves. But when it come down to the Cowboys, it's always something, though, with that good old salary cap. And it's been like that for 20 years now. Well, I take that back. It's been like that since the Brandon Carr situation. It's been like that. But I'm willing to roll my sleeves up and debate anybody for the last 10 Super Bowls. We can go back and we can point out every free agent move that was made to help them lift that Lombardi trophy up. We can just start pointing out, hey, they made this move. They moved this out of the way, and they went and brought in that free agent guy. That's tangible evidence that the free agent picks help you out and lifting that Lombardi trophy. You see, it's a cycling type of business. You can't be too heavy on one side of the situation. You can't be too heavy saying that, hey, I'm going to depend on the draft to win me a Super Bowl, or I'm going to only depend on the free agency to win me the Super Bowl. It's a balanced approach. Peanut butter is good for you, but too much will make you fat, right? Working out is wonderful, but you got to still have your rest day. You got to have a recovery period, right? And when people say they're on diets, yeah, that's cool. But to get the max results, have a lifestyle change. Pull away from the sugar, right? Make better choices. You can't do one thing without the other. I'm telling you guys the truth. That is the reality of it. Balance is the key. Balance is the key. And moderation is the key. That was the good book says, man, hey, do it all in moderation. Right? It's okay. It's okay to eat good, but do it in moderation. Step back just a little bit. You can't, look, I'm telling you guys, for real, you got to be able to look into this thing and say it's a cycling situation. Yes, we don't agree that we have to be big, heavy spenders in the free agency. But sometimes that's a good deal that I can't turn around. I got to go get that one difference maker. And that, my friend, my beautiful people that's watching, that was the difference. And the 3 Super Bowls that we won in the 90s. Yes, all of the moves and all of the hoopla that we heard with the Herschel Walker deal, yes, that was good. But it took a couple of years for that to manifest into a Super Bowl ring. And, oh, excuse me, by the way, you still had to go up there and pick up Charles Haley. But if you had the philosophy that we have now, no, it's no Charles. Right? And even for a puncher's chance in a fight, they know that all it takes is one punch. If I can just get one punch out, I can knock my opposition down. And that's what happened in that last Super Bowl that we ever won for the Dallas Cowboys. We need a DB. Dion Prime. They went and did that acquisition because they know they needed his skill set to be the difference maker. Nothing's new under the sun. I'll never forget. I would never forget the Denver Broncos when they made it all the way to the Super Bowl and they faced this young team by the name of the Seattle Seahawks. Not all of their guys were homegrown. Marshawn Lynch wasn't homegrown there. He didn't get drafted by the Seattle Seahawks. He was a free agent. I think he was an off-season acquisition that was there for, I think, his second year or third, I believe. But they was hungry. They beat the bejesus out of the Denver Broncos. They came in high and almighty with one of the best offense you can open your eyes to with their fancy free agent acquisition. But they got their wig split, baby. They beat them down like somebody stole them money. Y'all remember that? But what they did, they said, oh, y'all gonna do this to me? What they did that next offseason, they went into the free agency and said they swung it all. They went all in on the free agency that year. Went and got a legitimate cornerback. Went and got some pieces to put on their defensive front. Made it happen for them. And they lifted the Lombardi trophy. But what's all forgotten, all of the free agent acquisitions, they only looking and giving props to the quarterback. Sounds familiar from last year, right? Sounds just like Matthew Stafford's situation. Don't it sounds the same? Because that's the way you got to win the game. You got to take the risk. Michael Campbell says the Broncos station. Well, is that real news right there? Let me see, man. Everybody, look. Everybody giving me this one, man. It's bizarre. What did Randy Gregory do now, man? They said, man, all right, top story. Okay, it is top story. God, dog. It is real news. Breaking news out of Colorado. Randy Gregory is not the only one that's blazing. But right now, fire breaks out in Denver at the Mile High Stadium. Smoke clouds is everywhere, and the stadium is on fire. And we don't know what the cause of the fire. It could have been a cigarillo paper.
Breaking news.
Oh, they couldn't have me as a... Oh, man, nobody's inside from what I know. Denver Fire Department shared photos of the blaze on Twitter and said that the fire is now under control. The cause of the fire is unknown.
Smoke weed every day.
Unknown, but no reports of injuries. A fire department spokesman says, let me see. It reached the 1,000 square foot area. Okay. So, yeah, these some pictures, man. Graphic pictures, man.
There's a fire in the stadium. It's over on the east side of the club level.
Oh, somebody put that fire there. You know, you saw that little bit of piece of fire, and it spread it like wildfire, man. All right, so y'all be safe out there in Denver, man. Hey, it is what it is. I heard it's all legal out there, man. It is what it is. Yeah. And one of the members of the cleaning crew didn't put the fire out. Yeah, man, it is crazy, man. Everything is hot in Denver, and one of the cleaning crews didn't put it out and caught the stage on fire, baby. It's on fire, and the fire is so contagious, it didn't even jumped over here to Law Nation page. Oh, we on fire, baby. Oh, my goodness, we on fire, but nobody's hurt. You know, it is what it is. Oh, man, y'all ready for me to go? Y'all ready for me to go? I can leave. What time it is? It's 4:45. Yeah, 4:45. I'm done with Jera. Oh, my goodness, man. Long Beach in the house. What's good with you, man? We on fire. Denver is on fire. You know, it's just what it is. Everybody on fire. Shout out to Michael Campbell for that information, that news feed. Be sure to share this content. Let a friend or a neighbor know where to go. I got more segments I could talk about. The Cowboys came into the season, this offseason, 4th rank as it relates to opportunities to lift that Lombardi. Now they're 8th rank. And I think the guys from Cowboys Undisputed talked about that. Y'all want me to talk about that? Or we can get up out of here. I can do some reviews on that one before I depart. I really appreciate you guys so much. Let me see if I can go here. Bear with me while we got this fire going. Love is lovelier the second time around. Thank you. Though it seems to me the fire is all around. All right, good. I got it there. Thank you. All right. Let's talk. Okay. Keep it going. Let me see. Keep it going all the way down, and I can keep it going, baby. J. Lombardi spitting fire. Let me see. Keep it going if y'all want me to continue to go, because I can go. I can do this for hours, baby. I wish I could sing like that girl. She be singing, I can do this for hours and hours and hours. Yeah, keep it going. TY would be nice. And, yeah, you know, I appreciate you. Keep it going. Watson is trash. I feel you, fam. Donald Weaver. Keep it going, you know. What's that artist name? I can do this for hours. Y'all post her name so I can pull her up. I'm not gonna play her audio though. I don't have rights to her music. What's her name? Y'all post her name right quick before I pull up this other clip. Champagne Showers. I can do this for hours. I think it's Summer Walker. Okay. It's Summer Walker. Uh-oh. All right, come on. Now get out of there. I think that's her name. Long or something. Moni Long. Let me copy this. Yeah, okay, live back. All right, here we go. More. Here we go. Yeah, she said I can do this for hours. Oh, this is what I want to do this. Here we go. I can do this for hours and hours. Champagne showers. All right. Hold on. Y'all bear with me while I'm pulling this audio around. And I really appreciate you guys so much for jumping in and tuning in to the nation. Because we in the overtime. Segment of this show. There go the lyrics right there. Ha! I can do this for hours, baby. And hours. All right, good. Appreciate y'all. All right, so let's get this fire going. And y'all know how y'all get the slaps ready, man, because these boys always, and I mean just that, always make you want to slap.
So the Cowboys opened the offseason with the 4th best odds to win the Super Bowl, according to Fox Bet Sportsbook. But now Skip's team has fallen to the 8th best odds. Shannon, I'm guessing you're not too surprised.
Come on, hurry up and speak. Speak your mind,
Yeah.
Stephen. Hey, not Stephen,
Yes,
but Skip.
I am. No, I'm not surprised because as I told you before, Skip, they are worse than what they were when they ended the season. You lose 2 receivers, you lose Amari Cooper, you lose Cedric Wilson, your offensive line, Lyle Collins. Although I don't think that's that big of a loss, but you lose Randy Gregory. You didn't upgrade in any area. Now, Skip, you're picking in the 20s. The likelihood of you finding an impact player like you found in Michael Parsons is greatly diminished. What's the likelihood you get another impact player like Michael Parsons picking at 24?
Less than 0. It is.
All right, so let's break this down. You know, the likelihood of picking at the 24th spot. Let's break this down, though, Cowboy Nation. Let's be real. The draft selections are always a crap shot, right? There's no like crystal ball that can open up and you say, oh, this is the Hall of Famer right there. Let me pick him. Let me pick this guy. It's bull sugar, right? Jetson, yeah, it's bull sugar. Because I believe that T.J. Watt, he was picked way after the 24th selection, right? What was his draft overall number? Was it like 27 or 28, something like that? And I'm quite sure he's an impact player. There's chances that this team can fill the role or can fill in a player that can be an impact player, especially when you start pairing up players with a Parsons or pairing up a safety with a Diggs. You know, there's so many things that can happen in the draft. So many things, basically.
Yeah,
Less than 0.
Darius Leonard. Darius Leonard was second round, right? Wonderful player. Marvelous. What's the other guy? Justin Simmons. We passed up on Justin Simmons. He was drafted in the 3rd round or something like that, right? Bobby Wagner. He wasn't the first overall draft pick. So there's room for this team to find a wonderful draft pick. We just got to make sure that we do our homework on guys, right?
And I think that's what Fox Bet, that's what a lot of these gambling sites are saying. You're not as good as you were last year. You're worse than you were last year.
Mm-hmm.
Now we'll see if they make any more additions through free agency. I don't think there's anybody out there. I don't think they're going to get Bobby Wagner because he's visiting. I think he visited the Rams yesterday. He wants a big contract.
Not happening in Dallas.
It's not happening in Dallas. Okay, I think the Broncos are in on it. So I would say there's probably a greater chance of them finding impact player at 24 as the same as their signing of Bobby Wagner. So for me, Skip, when I look at it, I'm like, you guys feasted on turnovers. What's the likelihood that you follow up last season defensively this season?
Let me tell y'all something. You know, a little known secret in 2020, even with Mike Nolan. Yeah, tell him, well, lean forward. Yeah, Jametta tell them both of them lean forward. Just slapping it left and right. Here's the thing. What people were saying in 2020, and I want you guys to listen closely. Just hear me out when I say this. Hear me out. In 2020, did you guys know in the second half of that season, the Cowboys and takeaways went from the 30th all the way down to the 7th rank in takeaways? We was taking the ball away. And if you were to do like the second half of that season in 2020, this is the pandemic year, you know, it was that year, you know, that if you just to do the second half, we were first place in takeaways. And then in 2021, just last season, the Cowboys were number 1 in takeaways with a whole different coach who was able to extract some of that good stuff out of some of the players. And we got rid of Xavier Woods, who said, you know, I only give 25% of the time. I can't give 100% of the time, 100% of the time, whatever, you know. We made some small changes, and we hit on some of our older free agent guys. DeMonte KZ, you know, we hit on him. I know we want to say that DeMonte KZ was terrible last season, but he had some good sparks. I meant to say sparks. And then we had hit on Malik Hooker. So I truly believe heading into the second year with Dan Quinn that this team is going to keep that consistency of being the number 1 team in takeaways. Call me crazy, call me a Cowboy delusional fan or what have you, but I think that this team will get to the ball. We will. And we will make some plays because we got playmakers. And that is the reality of it. Shout out to you, Scout. Appreciate you so much, man, for joining the membership. Let me see who else. Appreciate everybody. Shout out to you, Con, for the 100 stars. We need to get the Honey Badger. We can only draft so far in the draft. We got to keep it simple. Yeah, I feel you, Con. Appreciate you with the 100 stars. Appreciate you, Con. And Sally Lawyer, thank you so much for the 500 stars on the Facebook. I appreciate you for your love and adulations. Keep in mind, the drawing for the Playmaker jersey is right around the corner. It will be ready for the start of this year. And all you have to do, start of next month, all you have to do is be a member of the Patreon or a member of the YouTube membership or the support group on Facebook. Your name is entered into the drawing. And also, if you join the app, I got to segue into this. If you join the app, your name is automatically entered in as well. And that's the Halftime app. And I'll post a link in a few.
We saw it with Tampa. Tampa was not the same defense, even though they brought everybody back. They were not the same defense last year as they were the last 8 games of the regular season and into the playoffs. They were not. So the likelihood of you having another guy that gets you 11 interceptions and a guy that goes get you 13, 14 sacks. Now, Michael Parsons is well capable, but is D-Law going to give you Randy Gregory's pass rush production? Can he get the double-digit sacks?
No, he
Can they
cannot.
generate that same level of pass rush?
No.
And cause the ball to come out quick, turn the ball over like they did last year? And Skip, your offense, Dak has got to be better. He plays a stretch. Dak's in the MVP discussion. We'll come out here in the first 6 weeks, and you're talking about Dak should be like, he's like second or third in the MVP. And then like the last 10, 11 games, you're like, well, damn, Dak. bro, you making, 75, you making 75 million. You ain't making 7.5 million. You're not making 7,500.
Yep.
So, Skip, I am not surprised that the Cowboys' odds are where they are. Hell, I'm surprised that they're high. You look at it, Skip, they're behind the Bucs, the Packers, the Rams, and the Niners.
And the Niners starting Trey Lance, we assume?
Trey Lance and Jimmy G, they say we don't even care who the starter is. Right now, the 49ers have better odds to win the NFC than the Cowboys, and we don't even know who the starter's going to be.
I love it, baby.
Shannon Sharp. You finally got me on this. I am not running from it. I'm here to take my medicine.
You're going to embrace it, huh?
Yeah, I'm going to embrace it because you have earned the right to dance on my grave. You can spit on my grave as we speak because my grave is getting deeper and deeper.
Yep.
I'm sorry. We have gotten worse and worse by the day.
Yeah.
And I think in Vegas, they're just sitting back saying, and?
All right, so I can't listen to no more. All right, so Cowboy Nation. Are we worse than what we had last season? And are we worse than the season before last? Because I love this. Because here's the thing. And shout out to you, Eric Mack. He said Shannon Sharp is speaking facts. But here's where I really want to draw the line. You know, the 2020 season was terrible for us. And heading into the 2021 season, because 2020 was bad for us. But heading into the 2021, they said that the Cowboys will not. Absolutely. I love this because they said the Cowboys will not make it to the playoff. The Cowboys will not win more than 8 games. They will be a situation whereas starting into the season, they said the Giants will be better. The Washington No Names at the time, they were saying that they will be better. And maybe, just maybe, the Eagles might be better. But they felt that the Dallas Cowboys would be slightly better than the Eagles. And it's quite strange that the Cowboys and the Eagles were the only 2 teams that make it to the playoff. But that's a story of a different day. I love when everybody is against the Cowboys. It seems as if, though, it's a better situation for us to fly under the radar because I told people before, Cowboys perform better when we are under the radar. And the craziest of the craziest thing, you guys don't remember this, right? And I was saying on this same show, we do these long shows. Maybe I need to split it in half. But I was saying this before. Watch they move the goalposts. Because they said the meat was falling off the bone for Dak Prescott, and he would never be the same as relates to throwing the rock around, right? That was the situation. That was the conversational line. Right? They said the meat is falling off the bone, his shoulder. I mean, he can't hit water if he fell off a boat. And then the first game of the year, you see, they already tried to bury us real bad, and they gave us Super Bowl champs on the first game of the year. And that was the situation. We lost the game, but we went toe-to-toe with those boys. And then we went on a 6-game winning spree. And that's when they started changing the narrative. And they went to this whole aspect of saying that the Cowboys, will they, be one and done? And they was right on the one and done situation. But I love it when they pivot. Shout out to you, Scott, man. Thank you for the donation there.
We have money to bring back Cooper Hilton too.
We have money to bring back Cooper Hilton too. I think I lost the translation there. Scott, are you saying that we have money to bring back Cooper, but we bringing back Hilton? Is that what you're saying? Oh my gosh. But I feel what you're saying, dog. Let me see. Even if we make the playoff, Cowboys first round exit, they have no experience in the postseason. This is from my guy V. Appreciate you. We got some experience now. And this is zero excuse situation. Dak Prescott going into his 7th year, and hear me out. This is the 4th year ever calling plays for Kellen Moore. And everybody know that for sure, that Mike McCarthy got his back literally against the wall. Joseph Johnson said Cooper only had 800 yards, some changes, and some change. He just okay. I think if you targeted Amari Cooper more, he would have had more than 800 yards. But that's a story of a different day. Story of a different day. Different day. We got James Washington now, and we got CeeDee Lamb and Noah Brown. And hopefully around week 5, week 6, we will have Michael Gallup. I get it right now. He said that he will be ready for week 1, but I'm not finna sit out here and tell you guys those storylines there. I'm not finna do that. I'm not finna lie to kick it. It's going to be remarkable if he's ready for week 1, missing all of training camp and beyond, right? And we do know how that storyline go. You don't want to rush a player. You don't. You don't want to rush a player. You definitely don't want to rush a player, and especially when you look at all what he brought to the table and the way and the kind of caliber of receiver he is. He's a physical guy, high point the ball type of guy, and you just don't want to rush that thing for him. You know, you don't want to do that. I like Michael Gallup. I absolutely do, but I just look at it like this: do not rush him. Definitely do not rush him. Let me pull him up right quick while we're talking about this. Because a lot of people think that, I'm being just big negative on him. And I'm not. I'm definitely not. Let me see if I can pull this around. I love this website, by the way. It goes and it predicts the injuries. And it shows a graph or a chart of all of the injuries that said player had. And, of course, Michael Gallup, 6'1", 205 pounds, and he ran a 4.51, and chances of injury. These are all of his injuries. And it's all on the same side, and that's caused a pause right there. That right leg of his, man, it's injury. And he haven't missed a lot of games, by the way. He haven't missed a lot of games, but, we know about the calf situation and everything. But the chances of injury in 2022, they got him pegged as 89%. Chances of injury per game, 12.2. Durability factor is 5. Projected to miss 2.3 games in the year 2022. That's just how it goes as far as durability. I think they rate that from a scale of 1 to 10. Y'all let me know what other player you want me to type in. This thing is pretty unique. I like this site, by the way. Appreciate you. One for each finger. Thank you for becoming a member. We also have Scott with another donation.
My bad. We have enough money to bring back Cooper and Hilton Lowell.
Oh, laugh out loud. Okay, yeah, you do have enough money. You had enough money to bring back all of those guys. But let's be real. The Cowboys simply didn't like Amari Cooper. They didn't want him. They didn't want him. So he's gone. It's a story of a different day. We got James Washington, and I appreciate you, Scott, but we got James Washington and we got Noah Brown, and we read up Michael Gallup. That is the reality of it. Oh, type in Tyron Smith. Okay, give me 1 second here. Let me give me 1 second. I gotta type it in and insert it into the graph here. Y'all bear with me right quick. Hail Mary. And then we'll play some more of this audio. Y'all bear with me as we type it in. I never pulled up Tyron Smith. I bet you, man, you going to have a 90% chance of getting injured, Let me see. Tyron Crawford. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Oh, my gosh. Let me see what they got from Tyron Smith. Come on, computer. Wake up. Now I want to act funny. Okay. They want to act funny. Then we refresh. Come on. It put up Tyrone Crawford. Hold on. I never thought about putting up Tyron Smith. Come on. They only do skill players. Unfortunately. Let me see. Y'all want to do Dak Prescott? I can do Dak Prescott, though. They don't have Tyron Smith, unfortunately. But they do have Dak Prescott. Y'all give me 1 second. Bam. Y'all can see that? Let me know if you can see that on the screen. All right. Let me fool this around. Let me just close this one out. There we go. We're not going to go back and use that. All right, so Dak Prescott. Here's his injury situation. Everything on his right side. He's 6'2", 226 pounds. He ran a 4.7 40 shoulder injury in 2019. He also had a shoulder injury in 2021. His shoulder injury, you guys remember that in 2015. That was the week of the Eagles game, and he had a shoulder injury last season. In November the 9th, 2013, way back in the days, he had a sprained elbow, okay? And in 2021, October the 17th, he had a right leg calf strain on the same area to 2020 dislocated ankle, and then also he had an ankle fractured. So he was dislocated and it was fractured. They don't have the updated surgery that he had on this side right here, on the other shoulder. But chances of injury is 8%. Chances of injury per game is a 0.5. His durability factor is 3, and it's a 0.5. And I think they scheduled that between 1 and 10. Okay. The ability to produce minor injuries is 5 being the most durable. So 3 is the most is away from 5. So that's what according to this chart is. And I wish I could pull up. They don't have Tyron Smith in the database. They don't. Unfortunately. Sign Carl Nassib. I don't think that they would do that. Chris, appreciate you though. All right, so how long? It's 5 o'clock, baby. I've been live for forever. All right, I got one more segment. We're going to play, and I'm going to get out of here. I promise you. I'm going to let you guys get back to your busy days. I'm supposed to have 2 more segments.
The Jaguars pass game coordinator last year. It's a unique role where he will help both coordinators, Dan Quinn and Kellen Moore. He's helping both sides of the ball. Much of Schottenheimer's job will center on league trends and game planning. Albert Breer adds, pretty cool idea. I don't have the same reaction. Brian Schottenheimer was known as the last time I remember him, he was the Seahawks offensive coordinator.
Yep.
Were you aware that Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll have had some beef as of late? Were you aware of that?
I heard.
Do you know where do you know where Russell Wilson's playing now?
Denver.
He's playing in Denver because, in part, of his offensive frustration.
All right, so share that app link. Okay, I got you, Keith. Let's look into this right here. Some of the buzz out on the combine was that Jerry believed the Cowboys have too many coaches on staff, yet they added another today in Brian Schottenheimer. All right, so we talked a little bit about this earlier today, but I want to tell you guys right now, in the hearts of hearts, this is the situation with that. Jerry, you the owner of the team. You control the outcome of as it relates to coaching. Why would you spit out of your mouth that you feel that they have too many coaches on this team, and knowingly that you gonna have to, then you signed another coach? So who are you trying to get rid of? Who are you trying to fire? Why you even say that? You know, why would you even let that leave your mouth? It's crazy to me, Cowboy Nation. It goes back to the whole mindset, and I'm looking for this link, so y'all bear with me, Cowboy Nation, that I'm going to share with you guys in the shorts. Here's the thing. Why would you put that out there? There's more and more foolery to put out there, and it sullies and denigrates the whole aspect of this team collectively. So it's crazy to me how all of this stuff shapes out in that fashion. Let me see. I'm almost there, Cowboy Nation. Y'all bear with me. Gallup. Come on, thing. Gallup. It don't want to go. Okay. Bam. Is that it right here? I'm sharing this link now. Bam. Copy. Because they done changed up a lot of things. Okay. Bam. Put that right here. Y'all get what I'm saying? Like, why would you let that leave your mouth? Here you go. Yeah. All right, so here we go. There's the link right there. It's in the description box. It should go to your Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch, as well as the YouTube. So click on that, and you'll get the access to that link power there. And you can play around with it. They give all type of tips on if you are a big fantasy guy, they give you fantasy tips as well. And the unique thing is they also break down the possibility of what type of play design said player run and what best plays they run out of. So take a real good look at that and click on that link. It's a cool tool. But appreciate you guys for your patience.
Maybe that was a Pete Carroll mandate. Hey, offensive coordinator, I don't care who we have. I don't care what your little ideas are. We're running the football, special teams, and defense. He said it the other day with Drew Lock when he was asked, can y'all win a Super Bowl with Drew Lock? But I'm still going to go ahead and blame Brian Schottenheimer a little bit for not letting Russ cook. Now, the Seahawks were a top 10 scoring offense every year Schottenheimer was there, 2018 to 2020. Top 10 scoring offense, but you had a future Hall of Fame quarterback and some weapons in Lockett and DK Metcalf. I thought Jerry Jones, by the way, my second criticism or question is, I thought we had two offensive geniuses in the building.
Yeah, he's right on the money, man. I can't go much longer. Shout out to you, man, G-Ball. Appreciate you. All right, so what I'm going to do is we would talk a little later on. It would be a shorter video, and we get into more details. But Cowboy Nation, be sure, share this content. Let a friend or a neighbor know. Shout out to 105.3 The Fan, and shout out to their clip on this. And we'll talk about this a little later on. But be sure, Cowboy Nation, to know that this team, man, nobody know the future. You know, nobody know what's going to happen in the future. But I know somebody going to say, I know one thing, Cowboys ain't going to win no Super Bowl. Leave us alone, man. We die-hard fans over here. It's nobody that say die soft. You know what I'm saying? That link is cool. Appreciate you, Sugar Daddy One, man. Appreciate y'all. Click that link. And also, to win this jersey, I promise you will not find another Cowboys jersey better than this as it relates to wide receiver outside of Drew Pearson. You know, somebody might like Dez. But once you click that link that's pinned at the top of the screen right now on my YouTube, join that community. Your name is automatically entered in. So if you don't have the kind that fold, you don't have the kind that jingles, right, as far as the remuneration of joining the membership squad and the support squad, there's ways you can do it without monetization tied to it, then, you know. See, I've told you guys, I'm freely over here. And we tired, Lord. Shout out to you, man. G-Ball. Oh, look, I ain't tired. I just got to re-up a little bit. I'm hungry. That's what it is. I got to go get me something to eat, man. I think I want some shrimp tacos right now, you know, some corn flour. You know, that's what I want to eat right now. So I'm getting a little hungry. I worked hard today, so I deserve to go get me something to eat. You know, some cilantro, you know, some shrimp tacos with some chopped diced onions and all of that other stuff. Pico de gallo, you know. I want all of that, you know, on my taco. Who wants some tacos? Shrimp tacos. Smoothie King, Brian Bradford. Yeah, appreciate them. Get some Whataburger. Nah, coconut shrimp. I got a taste for some shrimp right now, man. You know, I eat so much shrimp. I got iodine partner. You know, I'm ready to get some of that stuff in my system, and we re-up, man, and we jump back on and talk about something else, especially, avocado. You got to have the avocados, you know, fajita tacos. I feel you, Hive Boys, appreciate you. Yeah, come on, man. Wavy said on your way to eat, man. I mean, look, I'm going to tell you, man, fuzzy tacos are pretty good out here in Dallas, man. And, you know, you go find a fuzzy taco and get that shrimp taco or get a shrimp quesadilla. That's what I want, you know. That's what I want to go get. With the cheese melted, you know, with the cheese, you know. I want the cheese. Who got the cheese, baby? That's what I'm looking for, Cowboy Nation. And I hope you guys are looking for it, too. Who got the cheese? Get a real Mexican spot. You know, they got a good Mexican spot in Cedar Hill that I go to. Los Capizano, I think. That's a real Mexican spot there. In order to get a real Mexican, I got to go all the way to San Diego. You know, San Diego got some real stuff, man. But there ain't no real stuff in Texas like the San Diego's when I go out there to Cali. There's some real tacos and real Mexican food and all of that good stuff. But neither here nor there. If you know a real taco spot in Texas, let me know. Yeah. Hatcher says, y'all Mexican food is horrible in Texas. Come on down to LA. Yeah. I know when I'm out there, I get that real good stuff, baby. I fight for it. And speaking of fighting, if you want a thing bad enough to go out there and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time and your peace for it, if all of your desires of it makes you quite mad enough that you don't get tired of it, and it makes you hold all other things tawdry and cheap, if life itself seems empty and useless without it, if dogged and grim and besetted Cowboy Nation, if you are hungry enough to go out there and get it, Cowboy Nation, the universe and the world will open up for you. It will. Few city tacos are good, KG. It is. Oh my gosh, man. Now you talking, baby. Shout out to all of the taco shops. We done turned into Taco Nation, baby, without the Charlton. Let's go, baby. I hope all is well with you guys, man. Let's continue to be positive with this team. We can be angry and upset, folding up chairs and throwing it at folks. Alita la raza, huh? It's mucho elegante love over here. Can't wait to get this thing going, baby. Let's go. Taco Thursdays, baby. You know how it goes. I love, Let's go, baby. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Hope all is well in Denver. Y'all stop smoking stuff up over there. Let's go. Bobby is not coming here. Oh, and shout out to all of the homemade tacos. That's probably what I do, man, instead of going anywhere. Don't nothing beat the homemade tacos, right or wrong. Let's get up out of here. One love, baby. Homemade tacos are always good. Yep. Salute. Yeah.
Nowadays, nothing really excites me. Only one of me and nobody's like me. Phone ringing and I tell him it's I got wifey on.
Neilroy. So, come on. Come on.
Hit the door and the dome just whole team here might need some.
Come on.
Still young, but I move like a veteran.
I do move like a veteran. Yeah.
If you're down in my
shout out to y'all. Shout out to your Michael Camp.
Old producers saw the numbers one. Different colors in my baggy light. Chalk it up.
Corn your soda fries, baby.
Wanna get you a ring and you tough enough. Wanna get you new things with your pockets dull. Run it up. I used to be quiet and out of luck. Now I move up and move humble cause they hate and the jealousy.
Shout out to your lady Jessica. Let's go.
Nowadays,
come on.
Really only one of me and nobody's like me. Phone ringing and I tell him it's I got wifey on bling and she freeze. Photo. Please. No photos.
No photos.
No. Please. No photos. I keep giving game away.
Yeah.
I put game on layaway.
Come on.
I got paid to play today. I get paid to stay away. I get paid on rainy days. I might make it rain today. I got paid off pain today. Thought it'd take the pain away. In my own lane, finger roll. I would never sell my only soul.
Never.
Heard your whole team was for sale.
Not ours.
On the market for the low. Who the realest, we might never know.
Come on, it's law. Come on, baby.
Give you the world when they sign you up. Try you
what they say?
Ooh. Now you're looking hungry, ribs are touching, need some food.
He needs some milk.
Come on. You was food. Boy, get out the way, it's been a day, now you're old news. Now you got the pen and pad, you're trying to take my moves. Nowadays, nothing really excites me. Only one of me and nobody like me. Phone ringing and I tell him it's ice.
Come on, sharing is caring, baby. Hit that share button, baby. Come on. Yeah. What about fire? What about some fire in this thing, baby? Come on. It ain't the only thing on fire, baby. Oh. No, wrong house, baby. Come on. Hey, 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 ho, hey, ho. Come on. Let's go, baby. Let's slow it down. Hey, ho. All the haters, do me a few favors. Just lean forward. Hold on to that chin or that jaw. Come on. And if you're watching all the way to this point and you have not slapped that like button or shared this content,
shame. Shame. Take a drink of my cigarette. Breathe me out, breathe you in.
yeah.
Take a bite of my burger, babe.
Come on.
Save the last bite for you.
And you.
For you. Ooh. Don't let the street lights lead you all alone.
Come on, baby.